So we're here today to talk about Fit for Life, which is your new program, Sol, that's coming up at Mana in February.
Yep.
So would you like to tell me a bit about it?
Yeah. I decided to put together this weekend with my friend and colleague Rod Fielder. He's a personal trainer who works in the fitness industry, and his relationship to me is quite interesting in that he trained with me over 20 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
So he trained in structural integration with me, learning how to combine working with the person and their movement and body work. So he did that to enhance his personal training and to make his personal training much more personal, much more unique and individualized. So he works with me over the years. He comes back and does new training with me, and we meet together and we're involved in a number of areas like men's work.
Cool.
So we love working together, and yeah, got a common passion.
Oh, that sounds really good. And so when someone signs up for your Fit for Life program, what might they expect?
Because it's a weekend course, there'll be a limit to how much things can be personalized. But what we will do is for each person, we will actually take a section of time in which one of us will do an assessment to help them, first of all, discover limiting patterns. Because this is the main thing. If we carry on training or using our body in a way in which we're held by a limiting pattern, then we're working against ourselves the entire time. For example, let's say I was someone who was always on the phone like that, and that was my job. I worked on the phone, and a lot of people before they had these headsets and used them properly would do that.
Yeah.
And so eventually, all of the connective tissue, muscles, the nerves are affected by this, and it's a pain.
Yeah, it doesn't even look very comfortable doing it just for a few minutes.
And then you try to get out of it, but it's hard. So if you're doing it all the time, basically to get out of that, you'd have to go to the other side and actually neutralize it. So what we tend not to do is with chronic patterns, we tend not to be able to neutralize them. We just don't think of it. We don't have time. We don't train it. It's a training. So when this happens, it's all right for a while, maybe. It could even be for a long time. But eventually, nerves could be pinched. We get into an actual physical limitation. So the first thing for us to do with an individual is to identify held patterns. Patterns in movement, patterns in structure, and for the individual to identify patterns in attitude, because attitude is almost one of the most key things.
Yeah. And so hopefully you're going to give people some tools that they can take away, and then that can be the start of a sort of journey for them on the path of being more kind of mindful about their bodies.
That's exactly it. Most likely people who are attracted are already on a track. Yeah. They're already on a path of doing something, and that's why they're interested. Cool. So that's the most likely thing is someone's already doing some yoga. They're already going to the gym, but they want to understand a little bit more. Am I doing the right thing? Or, for example, a common thing, again, is that people go to group classes. So you go to a group Pilates class. Now, if you don't have an individualized Pilates teacher and you go to a group class, basically you just do something.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily Pilates. It's just you trying to keep up in the class, at the pace of the class, trying to do as best you can. And
I guess you may be doing things as well that you get it slightly wrong the first time, and then you just keep on going with that pattern, and basically you're not doing yourself any good, really.
Well, you probably are doing some good, but it's a little bit like trying to learn Tai Chi or yoga from a video. And you can learn things, you can. And if you're really, really clever, you can learn a lot. But you may not understand the inside of it, and you can actually lose the core, the essence of things.
Oh, well, look, that sounds really interesting. I wish you lots of luck with the course. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Thanks.
And I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Be good to be